Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of Bible Q&A. Today we're discussing what is the concept of biblical goodness? The major principle of biblical goodness is that only God is good. Moses told the Israelites in Deuteronomy, "He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment. A God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he." Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 4. In fact, even Jesus, who represented God, according to John chapter 4, verse 34, refused to be called good, reserving that title for Jehovah. And Jesus said unto him, "Why callest thou me good? None is good, save one, that is, God." Luke chapter 18, verse 19. He couldn't be good if all he was doing was what someone told him to do, according to John chapter 13, verse 16. The only way Christians can really be righteous, then, is to simply live for God. As St. Paul said in Romans, "I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service." Romans chapter 12, verse 1. For example, the Hebrew midwives used their privileged access to Israelite mothers to save their sons from being slaughtered, in Exodus chapter 1, verse 17. And Solomon used his immense wealth to build Jehovah a temple in 1 Kings chapter 5, verse 8. In fact, because David was so passionate about living for God, God spared David from the death penalty that was attributed to both adultery and murder. Think of Christians as soldiers for God, a comparison Paul made in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verses 3 to 4. Countries don't honor soldiers because they followed every law in the book, because it's virtually impossible to know all of them. In fact, some of them even broke the minimum draft age law just to enter the draft. Some countries even allow criminals to join the army in exchange for their freedom. The reason countries honor these people is that they fought for their nation. They believed that their nation's ideology was worth sacrificing their life for. That decision, to fight for one's country, does not make them better than the country they serve for, but it does make their sacrifice more meaningful than the day-to-day observance of local customs, which even tourists can do. It is that attitude that makes Christians different from people of the world, who work to serve the secular institutions and ideologies of their societies. As it was said in Romans, "Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God, as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God." Romans chapter 6, verse 13. For example, Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 37 is actually a prophecy describing how people would raise their children in the last days. That they have committed adultery, and blood is in their hands, and with their idols have they committed adultery, and have also caused their sons, whom they bear unto me, to pass for them through the fire, to devour them. They aren't burning their children as an offering to some god, obviously, but they are training them to become secular, and they will eventually be destroyed along with secularity, according to 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 to 17. They are not teaching them God's commandments so they can serve Jehovah, according to Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7. Also, politicians, with all their hypocrisy and greed, are perfect for advancing the goals of their principalities and powers. Some politicians are caught engaging in corruption, adultery, and fraud, but they are still more useful to their governments than Christians because they use their money to help keep worldly systems going. That's why they often don't face nearly as many legal troubles as ordinary people when going through the courts. Thus, for Christians to be good, they have to use their resources to help sustain God's project. That's what Jesus wished his disciples would do in Luke chapter 16, verse 8. "And the Lord commended the unjust steward, because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light." Many Christians don't know how to use worldly resources to advance God's purpose. But it is these actions that are referred to as charity or goodness in 1 Corinthians 13. It isn't only material giving, according to verse 3. Rather, it is the belief, perseverance, and sacrifice necessary to work to promote God's mission in a secular world, as shown by verses 4 and 5. "Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil." When Christians do this work, Their legacy of goodness will last even after the world is destroyed, according to verses 8 and 13. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fall. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A, where we discuss the concept of biblical goodness. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and share this video to others who might want to check it out. Goodbye.